Hello friends, welcome to SKR Academy. Today I'll be teaching you all chemistry class 9, first chapter, matter in our surroundings. So let's continue our video. So friends, when we hear matter in our surroundings, the first thing which strikes in our mind is matter. All those substances that occupy space. What is meaning of occupying space? Occupying space means that space is going to be filled when there is the presence of matter. Have some mass. What is mass? Mass is the amount of atom or particle in a substance, and we can feel its presence by our sense organs are called matter. So some of its examples are chalk, duster, table, blackboard, air, dust, etc. Everything which we see in our daily lives are all matter or are made up of matter. Likewise, we are holding a phone in our hand to see some apps or videos. We can feel the phone through our skin. It is matter or are made up of matter. We will now know types of matter or states of matter. There are 5 states of matter. First is solid, second is liquid, third is gas, fourth is plasma, fifth is Bose-Einstein condensate. First, there were only solid, liquid, and gas. And the modern scientists worked and developed or founded plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. Now we will know what is solid. All those substances which have definite shape and volume but cannot be compressed under force of compression is called solid. Some of its examples are brick, pen, stone, table, etc. The substances which have definite shape or have a fixed shape and volume is also fixed but cannot be compressed. What is compressed under force of compression? Compressed under force of compression means that the particles of the matter are brought close to each other through a force is known as compression. Example: brick, pen, stone, table, etc. We can see that all these things have a fixed shape and volume, and we cannot compress it through a force of compression. Some properties of solids are: solids have definite shape, have definite volume, the intermolecular space is least, intermolecular force of attraction is maximum. What is the meaning of this? The force between the particles of solid is maximum, and the space between the particles of solid is minimum or the least. The kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by a body to the virtue of its motion. So when a body does a motion or moves, it possesses energy which is known as kinetic energy. Of the particles of solid is least means there is almost no movement in the particles of solid. They do not have tendency to flow. Therefore, they are not known as fluid. They cannot flow because the particles of solid does not move. The particles of solid diffuse at very slow rate. The rate of diffusion in the particles of solid is very slow. Diffusion means the moving of a substance from a higher concentration to a lower concentration. Since the particles of solid cannot move from one place to another, therefore the diffusion rate is very slow. It cannot be compressed. It cannot be compressed, meaning is that the particles of solid cannot be brought close to each other. What is liquid? All those substances which do not have definite shape, meaning that they do not have a fixed shape, but have definite volume. They have definite volume and cannot be compressed or can be compressed very little under force of compressibility, means that the particles of liquid can be brought or cannot be brought close to each other and can be brought very little close to each other. Examples are there: water, kerosene, alcohol, or all the fluid things which we see in our daily lives except gases. So we will now know the properties or characteristics of the liquid. Liquid do not have definite shape as it takes the shape of the container. If you will put liquid in a container or pour it in a container, it will take the shape of the container. They have definite volume. It will have a definite volume or a fixed volume. Intermolecular space is more than solid. The space between the particles of liquid is more as compared to solids. Intermolecular force of attraction is less than solid. Intermolecular force of attraction is less than solid means that the force of attraction between the particles of liquid is less than as compared to solids. The particles of liquid can change its mean position means that the particles of liquid can move from one place to another. Therefore, they have the tendency to flow and they are known as fluid. The particles of liquid diffuse at a faster rate than solid. The particles of liquid can move more as compared to solid. Therefore, they can change their mean position and can diffuse faster as compared to solid. It cannot be compressed means that the particles of liquid cannot be brought closer to each other through a force of compression. What is gas? All those substances which neither have fixed shape nor have fixed volume, which do not have a fixed shape nor have a fixed volume also, and can be compressed, which means that its particles can be brought very much closer to each other and can be compressed. Examples are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. and all are fluid. Now we will see properties of gases. Some of the properties of gases are it has neither definite shape nor have definite volume. The intermolecular space is maximum. The intermolecular space is maximum. The distance or the space between the particles of gas is maximum. The intermolecular force of attraction is least. The force of attraction between the particles of gas is least. Particles of gas are free to move in all directions means that there is no force of attraction or very less force of attraction between the particle and the intermolecular space is maximum, so they can move here and there where they want in all direction. The kinetic energy of the particles of gas is maximum as the particles of gas can move in all direction, therefore the kinetic energy of particles of gas is maximum. The particles of gas diffuse at a very fast rate. It is highly compressible. It is highly compressible as the particles of the gas can be brought very close to each other through a force of compression. Characteristics of particles of matter. All matter are made up of tiny particles. Matter are made up of tiny particles which are known as atoms. Particles of matter have space between them. Means that every two particles in a matter have spaces between them or gap between them. Particles of matter are in continuous motion. I can give you an example that if we take a cup of water or a glass of water and we put some color in it, the color will dissolve in water and we will see that the water has changed to that color even if we drop some few drops of that color in the water. This is because the continuous motion of the particles in the water gets dissolved fastly and forms the color of the water to change to that the color of the liquid drop. And the particles of matter attract each other means that like magnet attract each other, the particles of matter also attract each other. So thank you for joining our lesson today. Continue with our team so you can get more knowledge. Thank you and subscribe our channels SKR classes.